Richard, look! I found this book on ninjutsu. Soon I'll be a master ninja.
Okay, wait, a book? Here, give me that. You can't become a master by reading a book. Take this and go listen to one of the shows on the Pod Bros Network, like Take Aim Outdoors or Dave's Nerd Compendium, Pencil and Ink Reviews, or one of any of their other amazing shows. All right?
All right. Hey, where are you going with that book?
I will be going to finish this book and destroy it so I can become your teacher.
No!
What's up, everybody? I'm Richard.
And I'm Sean. Arg! Arg, matey!
We're speaking the language of bromance, or at least I'm speaking the language of bromance. Sean is speaking...
We're speaking the language of argmance. Richard, we don't talk much about strong female characters on the show besides Black Widow. I think Black Widow is the only one we really talk about a lot.
That's true. Because also, like, Black Widow, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, no, so in that case, so Black Widow and Betty White.
Two women, yes, that we both adore. I forget about Betty White. We talk about her a lot, too.
Yeah.
So, one other thing that we don't talk about a lot, I remember back when we said this would be a good topic, but there's the age-old argument of pirates and ninjas, right? We talk a lot about ninjas, but we don't talk much about pirates.
Yeah, even though pirates are the ones that would win.
No, they would not.
Yes, they so would. Name 3 ninja movies that are any good.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Secret of the Ooze.
Wait. Which one are we talking about?
Richard, you know why you've never seen a good ninja movie?
Tell me why.
Because there's ninjas. You would never see it.
Oh,
yeah. Burn. And pirates are just a bunch of dudes on a ship. I mean, it's kind of like a luxury cruise for dudes. It's kind of like our bromance.
Let me tell. Yeah. So why aren't you more sympathetic to the cause of the pirate? Also, Johnny Depp's a pirate. You know who else is a pirate? Goonies. Goonies are pirates. And Goonies never say die.
You know who's a ninja? Chuck Norris. Yeah.
You know who's a pirate? Gina Davis. Huh? Yeah.
So, Richard, I want to... It takes a little bit before we get to the piratedness of this person, but like I said, we don't really talk too much about strong female characters, and we never really talk about pirates, so let's talk about them both in one time. Why don't we talk about a female pirate?
2 birds, 1 stone.
So, Richard, I'm going to introduce you to, and I will probably butcher the shit out of this name.
Oh, God, it's French, isn't it?
Yeah, it's French.
I knew it. As soon as you're like, I'm going to fuck this up, I'm like, it's French.
It's Janae de Clisson.
Ooh.
She lived from 1300 to 1359. So she lived 59 years as a pirate.
No, she lived 58 years as a pirate because you said 1301.
1300.
Oh, 1300. Okay.
She was also known as Janae de Belleville.
That sounds sexy.
Yeah.
Sexy and exotic.
And she was given the name the Lioness of Brittany, which kind of sounds like that's a good porn name.
The Lioness of Brittany.
Yeah, but I don't think you'd probably want to try to hit on this lady because she'd probably cut the shit out of you.
Probably would. Plus, she was on a boat forever, but she's got scurvy, whatever scurvy is. I've never understood what scurvy is. I just heard it's really bad.
I think it's like when you're missing vitamin C, maybe, because they say if you eat oranges, that helps your scurvy. Your scurvy. Arg.
Scurvy.
Oh, they're French pirates, so it's Scarve de Harvey.
Les scurvy.
All right, so let's look at the early life of Miss Janae. I sound like Forrest Gump. Miss Janae. So, of course, in this time, in 1312, most of the times they married young.
Very young.
So, at 12 years of age, she married 19-year-old Geoffrey de Chabrillante the 8th.
At 12?
At 12. She married, and this is interesting, his name is Joffrey.
Oh, see, I already hate him. And now the audience hates him too.
Yep. Down with Joffrey. Down with Joffrey.
You know, you wouldn't think. He was like, man, I've never hated anyone more than I've hated this child. I've never hated a child as much as I hate this child. And then Ramsey Bolton shows up, and then you're like, oh, wait.
Yeah. I really think he was eating his wiener.
I think he was, too.
Yeah. He was a Breton nobleman. There's not much on this first marriage. They had 2 children, Louis and Geoffrey IX, or Joffrey IX. But in 1326, Joffrey VIII, her husband, died.
Oh.
It's not much story. I mean, it's a sad story. You know, she's young.
Probably from scurvy.
Scurvy.
Lay scurvy.
They were married for 14 years, though, so she was 26 when he died. So she was almost of age.
Barely legal.
I wonder if she killed Joffrey. Maybe she's like, Joffrey, you know what? We've got all this land, all this money. I gave you 2 sons.
Well, she even poisoned him at the wedding, so.
That's true. She waited a little bit. But what if this has been her lifelong dream to be a pirate?
Isn't that everybody's lifelong dream?
Not mine.
That's mine. And not like those angry pirates you see in like Somalia. Look at me. I am the captain now. That wouldn't be me. I don't want to be that kind of pirate.
You just want to be on a ship with a bunch of dudes straight in the middle of the ocean with swords? Swords, Richard?
Yes.
I imagine you as like a Disney pirate.
I would be a Disney pirate.
Yo ho, yo ho.
Come on, guys. And they're like, we're so hungry.
Everybody, take off your pants. Yo ho, yo ho.
Here there be monsters in my pants.
So she waited about 4 years, and she remarried to Oliver de Clisson the Fourth. He was a wealthy Breton, I think it's the place where they're from. He had a castle, he had a manor house, and was a pretty well-to-do dude.
So at this time, she's still not a pirate yet?
No, she's not a pirate. So
she's just bouncing around from dude to dude.
Well, no, I mean, she was married for 14 years, and her first husband died. So I think what she's like, she's like, Joffrey, 2 sons, you got everything you want here. Let me be a pirate. We got the money. Let's sell off just a little bit of land and let me be a pirate.
Right now, she's just pillaging men's innocence. Yeah.
yeah, there you go. So Joffrey dies, and she marries this next guy, Oliver de Clisson. And this will get really interesting because this is very much like a woman scorn story. Like, don't piss off a chick.
Yeah. I think we all isn't that kind of a universal truth? Isn't that something that we all kind of basically understand?
So in this, so she had 2 kids in her first marriage, and the second marriage she had 5 kids.
Damn.
One of them died pretty young, in 1334. So I'm not sure how old he was.
Yeah, way to bring it down.
Then she had a couple more boys and a couple more girls. She named one after her. She named one Jenna.
It's Jenna Jr.
Jenna Jr. We call her JJ.
Oh, that'd be a pirate name.
Yeah. Oh, could you imagine? It's almost, it's a
she's almost got enough people she could crew her own ship. She could just have all the kids run around.
Yeah.
Who's gonna let's say you're on a pirate ship, or you're just on a ship, and this other ship comes up, and they raise the Jolly Roger, and you're like, oh shit, it's pirates. We have to defend ourselves, and then a bunch of kids jump on board. Like, what do you do then?
Yeah, you can't kill a kid, I guess.
Yeah, you can't kill a kid. Oh my god, that's fucking genius.
Yeah. And they jump on and they can play the whole innocent card, like, oh, we're so hungry.
Yeah, they just jump on. They're like, oh, we're hungry. Oh, that mean old lady just has us float around the sea, going from ship to ship.
Come here, little JJ.
And they're like, oh, yeah, come here, JJ. And then JJ stabs him in the eye.
Yeah, it takes out a little dagger.
With her fucking cutlass. Yeah.
Stab.
And boom, they've got pirate ship.
Yeah, they got a new ship. Probably the crew will be like, fuck this, we ain't killing any kids. We'll fight for you.
They're like, we'll surrender. Oh my God, that is genius. That's what we should do. We should turn our kids into pirates. Then we could fulfill our lifelong dream of being pirates. Or at least we could fulfill my lifelong dream of being pirates.
I'll pass that by Tiffany and see him. My son is still drooling on himself, so maybe we wait till he's a little older.
I do that, and I think it'd be okay.
So at this point, during this time frame, there was a lot of wars going on. There's just a ton of battles all the time.
Yeah.
kings versus kings.
This is the late 1300s. So let's see what we've been going on. The Crusades, Scottish War for Independence was that was like 1314.
I mean, it's still about that time. I mean, within this like 100-year range, there's just a ton of battles.
Yeah, England's fighting the French. Christianity's fighting the Muslims. Shit, what else is going on? Yeah, it's just, you're right. There's just battles everywhere.
So her family sides with the French, just because they're French, so that makes sense. And apparently, at some point in here, so in 1342, after 4 attempts to capture, I believe it's her husband, Vanus. Who's Vanus? Who the fuck is Vanus? Where'd you come from, Vanus?
Where did you come from? Oh my God, was that like his lover or her lover?
Maybe.
Was that his lover? Scandalous.
It's just a city. It's not very scandalous. So apparently the English tried to capture the city that they're in. And so they, her family defended the city.
Wait a minute, are you talking about Venice?
No, Vannes.
Oh, okay.
Not Venice, Italy.
Okay.
And so they fought for the city, and her husband was the only one released after an exchange. And I guess it was surprisingly a low sum of money too. So so you play this out. So they're fighting for their country. They decide they're gonna fight for the French, fight for the king, the crown of France.
Not very pirate-like. Not very piratey.
No. They're totally behind their country. It's like, listen, viva la French. Viva la French. I like the French fries, the French toast, the French kisses with the prisoners.
And we called the British the roast beef, and that's very funny.
We laugh so much. Our French accents are pretty on spot.
Yeah, I think we're totally not insulting anyone.
I was listening to this podcast yesterday, and I couldn't tell that they were Americans.
So I just, you know what? Honestly, right off the bat, I'm thinking the British are rude because they're fighting children.
That's true.
Because boat full of kids, they hop off, and then that's wrong. That's just wrong.
But I feel so. This Oliver guy, her husband, he's fighting for his country, and he gets captured. And there's an exchange for, I guess, one of the other prisoners, and I guess a super low sum of money. So the French king, I guess, or somebody in the French hierarchy is kind of a dick because they suspected him of not defending the city to his fullest because they let him go.
Oh.
So they labeled him a traitor.
Oh, see, now that's pirate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be like, you know what? I am a traitor. You know why? Because I'm a pirate.
But there's no piracy in her ideas yet. She's still just kind of like, no, I'm we're totally loyal to the crown. But after a trial of her husband, and this is a quote. I mean, this is total like medieval times. So I don't know where they got this quote. Maybe somebody recorded it. I don't know. In the year of our grace, wait, I gotta get my French accent.
It's like a proclamation.
Yeah. In the year of grace 1343, on Saturday, the 2nd day of August, Oliver, Lord Clisson, knight, prisoner in the Châtelet of Paris for several treasons and other crimes perpetrated by him against the king and the crown of France, and for alliances that he made with the king of England, enemy of the king and kingdom of France, as the said Oliver has confessed, was by judgment of the king given at Orleans drawn from the chariot of Paris to Les Halles, and there on a scaffold had his head cut off.
Not Les Halles, it's Leal.
Don't interrupt me.
I'm making proclamations.
And then from there his corpse was drawn to the gibbet of Paris, and here hanged on the highest level, and his head was sent to Nantes in Britain, to be put on a lance over the Sauvetot gate as a warning to others. So they chopped off his head.
They chopped off his head.
And they put it on a pike.
First husband, dead. Second husband, decapitated and head on a pike. She's like the female Henry VIII.
Well, this is very much Game of Thrones.
Ooh.
Because he was beheaded, and the king put his head on a pike and basically told everybody in the country, he's like, listen, this is what happens if you get caught. You better not be coming home.
Ooh.
And I guess so when they put this out there, it shocked a bunch of the locals. Like, the North was pissed. It's like, the North will rise, motherfuckers.
The North! Oh, so Olivet is like the Ned Stark of France.
Yeah. And Jenny's like the Jon Snow, I guess.
No, she's like the Catelyn Stark because her husband dies and then she's like, revenge.
Yeah, I guess so. That makes sense.
Maybe she'll be Lady Stoneheart.
We
Fucking
can
Lady
only hope.
Stoneheart. The only thing you have left.
So this happens, and this Jenny is like pissed. She takes her two sons, Oliver and Guillemot.
Oh my God, she's so like Catelyn Stark because she's got two sons, and she's like, we're gonna go do something about this. So it's so with Caitlyn, it was fuck whatever his name was, died at the Red Wedding, and
Rob.
Yeah, Rob.
Bob. I like to call him Bob. Bob Stark.
Bob Stark. Hey, Bob Stark.
I hate that name.
Hey, when they call me that.
We call him Wolf Bob too. He's Wolf Bob when he gets drunk. Yeah, Wolf Bob's so cool.
Cause it's got wolf.
Wolf Bob, do a shot.
Hey, Wolf Bob.
Wolf Bob. Wolf Bob.
Stop calling me that.
Wolf Bob. But so, I mean, she takes her two sons to where their dad's head is on a pike, and they're like, look at it. Look at what he did.
Yeah, she's like, revenge. From hell's heart, I stab at thee.
Yeah, and this is where, so she sells all of her land, and she gets enough to buy 3 ships, and she creates the Black Fleet.
That is so badass.
Yeah, so she sells all of her land, because there's a couple battles where they escaped on boats, and they tried to do a little bit on land, but she's like, nope, fuck it. Heart's at the sea, man. Yeah. My heart will go on in the sea. I'm like that bitch from Titanic.
That's what I'm saying. So she puts all her kids on boats because she's like, who's gonna kill kids? Nobody. Who's gonna try and fight children?
I wonder if this is where Game of Thrones stuff came from. So because she had 3 ships, and I'm guessing she probably put a son on each.
Oh, I bet she named them like wolf names.
But she had these ships painted black and dyed the sails red.
Oh, that's bad. See, that's awesome.
I just imagine like her 2 sons are kind of like not very like into this battle. They're like, well, Dad did kind of seem like a traitor.
See, I'm picturing her like a Disney pirate. She's got like the bandana on, like she's a member of Captain Hook's crew. She's got like a bandana on, and she's got like her like big flowing outfit, not a dress. She's wearing like Jack Sparrow, but a chick. That's hot.
Yeah. I think she kept everybody in line on this ship though. But yeah, so she beat the shit out of the French army a little bit on the seas.
Ooh.
Enough that she earned the name the Lioness of Brittany.
Yeah.
And so for 13 years, she had her piracy gig going.
13 years?
Yeah, 13 years.
13 years on a boat. Now now think about that. Okay, 13 years on a boat. So you're talking about being on a boat in the Middle Ages. Like you said, this is the mid 1300s. So, I mean, obviously she doesn't have things like GPS and whatever, but she also, has to deal with shit like scurvy and, the Black Plague.
Well, you're missing a key thing of this. This is a woman in the 1300s commanding a fleet.
Yeah, that's true. Wasn't it bad luck to have women on ships?
I think it was albatrosses.
No, I thought it was you couldn't have a woman on a ship. It was bad luck. It was a bad omen.
That sounds like something you would say just to have a bunch of dudes on the ship.
Shut up.
No women. No women.
This is man time.
It's funny, kind of. Until it's your turn in the barrel.
And that's why our wives don't go on vacation with us. No, we can't. You can't go with us. It's bad. It's bad luck. Yeah, the car is bad luck.
No women in the car. Well, I mean, by the time they listen to us, after we've recorded for an hour, they want to jump out. So
fair enough. Oh my God! Stop talking about the damn Adventure Road.
So they don't. I wish they would talk about a lot of the battles that she was in, but I mean, you think of this lady running these 3 ships. I'm sure she ran a tight ship.
I bet she did.
She had revenge on her mind.
She had to because she's a woman, and I'm sure especially like in the Middle Ages, like no dudes probably wanted to take her seriously. So she probably had to be like twice the hard ass as a dude would.
Well, and it sounds like they pulled a lot of loyalists from like because I guess they had a castle, so they were kind of a lord, I guess. So around them, they had people that were loyal to them. And when their lord was killed, similar to Game of Thrones, when the Lord Stark was killed, the North remembers.
Yeah.
The Linus of Brittany, the North remembers.
Oh my God! If you tell me at the end of the story she died and they made her a zombie, best story ever. I'm just saying.
And the Black Fleet's still out there right now as a bunch of zombies.
Oh, zombie ship. That's how they got the idea for Pirates of the Caribbean.
This lady is not getting her due. There's somebody in her family that is owed a ton of royalties.
Yeah.
George R.R. Martin, Disney.
Because now I'm picturing her jumping on a ship with fucking Tom Hanks. She's like, look at me with her bony fingers. Look at me. I'm the captain now. So she terrorized the seas for 13 years.
So the English Channel. So, I mean, she was a French woman. She had French lands. And at this point, she's causing all this issue because she swore vengeance against the French crown. It's like, you kill my husband, I'm going to kill the rest of you.
Yeah.
And I've got all these French that are loyal to me that are going to back me up.
Yeah. And she's taking her revenge out one ship at a time. Just...
I guess, and I mean, at this point, she jumps ship and she joins the English.
Yeah, well, of course she did. The French put her fucking husband's head on a stick. So fuck that. If that was me, I'd be like, fuck you, fuck the French.
So we play this out as some other podcast that we're devoted to goes against us. Like, I get captured, Richard, and they decide that they're going to behead me because they think I got away too easy.
Yeah.
And so you got to raise the Black Bromance Fleet.
Yes. I'd have 3 podcasts, and I don't know. How would they be pirate podcasts?
Well, I mean, you have pirate radio.
Well, yeah, but pirate radio is just like, they just put themselves out there. It's like what movie was it? Pump Up the Volume.
Never heard of it.
Oh, Christian Slater was in that movie. I mean, I'm not saying that that's like, oh my God.
He's my first mate.
He is so wonderful.
Have you seen Young Guns? Oh my God.
No, there was a movie. I think there was a movie called Pirate Radio where it was in the 60s, the 1960s. And this was also in England where there was, they banned on English radio, they banned like rock music and stuff like that. So there was so these people got together and they basically hijacked a chunk of the airwaves and played like rock music, and they called it pirate radio because they were all on a ship and the ship would just sail around England, and that's how they would broadcast onto the island, and they called themselves pirate radio. So that's what I do. So I get a ship and I just sail up and down the ocean.
I just imagine you'd make like a pool floaty and go find a local pool.
And I'd sit in the middle of the pool with a microphone on a floaty.
This is for my buddy Sean.
This is pirate radio.
We're gonna take this pirate podcast, and somebody on the edge of the pool is like, "What's a podcast?"
Damn it, sir! You can't have foreign objects in the pool. I'm defying his rules because this is pirate podcast.
You go around like picking stuff out of people's things. It's like, I'm pillaging. Pillaging.
I look at iTunes and the review is, well, after the first hour of crying and some inaudible noises,
I thought I heard a splash.
He made a joke about being a pirate.
I didn't really laugh, but
I would have laughed if it wasn't so damn sad. Meanwhile, you're dead. Your head's on a stick.
Yeah, all because I got captured and released because I was a good guy. They're like, "Hey, Sean, you're funny. We like you. Why don't you go back to your buddy Rich?"
Yeah.
I come running back, and
then we're betrayed. We're betrayed by our own podcast brethren. And so in my fit of rage, it's like John Wick, except you're the dog.
So we play the scene out where they bust into the house and knock you unconscious and beat the shit out of me. And I'm in the corner like you're starting to faint and they're kicking me. And then we cut back from when you black out, and I've drug myself, and I have my head laying on your chest with a line of blood.
No, you shall be avenged.
No, what it would be is when I crawl to you, my head's not on your chest; it's on your crotch.
He died doing what he loved.
The reviews are like, "Well, John Wick was very emotional. It's like it was a puppy. This was borderline just creepy."
Yeah, and slightly homoerotic. That's my wheelhouse.
I mean, if his mouth wasn't open, it'd be one thing, but
Yeah, I mean, okay. So what happens after these 13 years?
she just continues battling, like, because they had the 100-Year War. So there's the Battle of Cersei. Does that name sound familiar?
Oh my God, it does. And then okay, Battle of Cersei, and what is her title? She's the Lioness. Huh?
Yes.
House Lannister,
Mhm.
Lioness. Oh my God.
Think we got some plagiarism going on here.
Yeah. See, you always wonder, I wonder if he pulls from history at all. Obviously he does.
Yeah. Well, I know it wasn't the Battle of the Roses like a big thing too from that.
The
that he
War
kinda
of the
based a lot on?
Roses. I think that
War
was
of the Roses, yeah.
War of the Roses. I think that was just in France though. Because I think I have, this is just purely speculation because I don't actually know, but I thought the War of the Roses was between like houses, like noble houses. Like, it wasn't like England versus France. It wasn't countries. It was just like houses in maybe France or maybe England.
That's so crazy to think. Like, imagine like the day and age. It's like, you know what? My neighbor's pissed the fuck off. Like,
Yeah.
house, Montfort. We're mad. You didn't mow your lawn this week. We're gonna pillage your house.
Yeah. And then House Montrose. No, see, because it's like shit. What was the name of it? It's like Romeo and Juliet. Because you have the Capulets and the Montagues, and they really hated each other, but they didn't. It didn't evolve into like open hostility. I mean, it eventually did because they thought, what's it? Mercutio? It was Mercutio and Juliet's brother. I can't think of his name, but he dies. And anyway, but yeah, it's like, kind of like Romeo and Juliet, where you have the Capulets and the Montagues. I think that was kind of what the War of the Roses was. I
gotcha. Yeah, was it a cross lover type thing? Like one family loved the other, and
well, that's Romeo and Juliet. I have no idea with the War of the Roses, but I like where you're going here, where you have, because we don't have houses anymore. Like I don't refer to my last name. Like, you have disgraced the House of Montrose.
Hey, what? Yeah, I don't know. Do you think it was the move over to the States? Like, that's what's kind of lost it? Do you think there's still a big thing like that in England?
Well, maybe. I have no idea. I'll tell you what, though, that if you started like throwing that out there as, like as like a comeback, if you're insulted, like I think that shit would get serious.
You have disgraced the House of Hennebonnet.
Yeah. Like if you come, like if like say say you're driving down the road and guy cuts you off and you follow him and you end up parking like in the same parking lot, and you get out of the car, be like, "You have disgraced me and brought shame upon my house." Like that guy's like, "Holy shit, like this dude's serious."
Well, you come out like in full medieval armor and you pull out a sword. The dude's like, "What the fuck is going on? Am I all punked?"
Or you raise a pirate flag on your antenna. And you're like, revenge for the disgrace upon my house.
I don't know what life would be like if those were still going on.
I think we should start doing that.
You start driving home. So we got to figure out some good names here. So
I like Montrose, so I'm going to be House Montrose.
Okay, I'll be House Bentley.
Okay, I like that.
So I come home as House Bentley. I've got a nice, we live in a nice little mid-class subdivision.
Right. Like, let's say, okay, you get out of the car and it's trash night. Okay, so you get out of the car and there's a raccoon that's gotten to the neighbor's trash and dumped some of it in your yard. and then you go to the neighbor and you're like, hey, there was a raccoon that got some of the trash in my yard. And the neighbor's like, fuck you, I'm not cleaning up. That's trash is in your yard. I'm not cleaning it up.
Well, no, I would send you a raven. I'd walk inside. You're next door. I'd walk inside, write a note. It's like, House Mormont. Let's see. You're one of your raccoons from your what do they call like the lands? I guess just one of your lands.
Like the hold, like your hold.
Yeah, one of the raccoons from your hold got into my trash as I was sitting it out for the Lord Trash Man to pick up. And unfortunately, your raccoon spread trash all over my lands.
Yeah. And then your wife's like, can't you just text him? And you're like, shut up, this is more dramatic.
Okay, Raven, go. Go, Raven. You just pick it up and throw it over the fence.
And then a bird picks it up and poops on and builds a nest with it.
Curse you, bird from Lord Marmont's lands.
You have disgraced my house, bird.
All right, I'm going to go next door and talk to this guy.
Hey everyone, this is Tom from the Say What Podcast, and I would love it if you'd swing over to saywhatpodcast.com to check us out as soon as you're done listening to this show. We handpick real news articles to poke fun at every week, like a lady from Florida attacking her boyfriend with a ceramic squirrel, or kids rubbing chapstick in their eyes to get high, or the guy who got arrested for repeatedly having sex with an inflatable pool shark. Yeah, I think you get the point. So tune into the Say What Podcast every Friday on iTunes, Stitcher, and at saywhatpodcast.com.
Yeah, so you go and but first you'd have to like dress up. So you put on I don't know if you put on armor, but you could put on like a breastplate and like a big cape.
Oh, and your sigil. That's something else we don't have in this world is sigils.
Yeah. Did you ever get did you ever delve into like your family history?
Not a ton. My
Cuz they have crests. Like I found there was someplace I went, I don't remember what, but that you could get like your family history printed out, like just like a brief synopsis. And so I did that. And I had that, and they gave me a picture of what our family crest is, and it has like the motto on it. And I framed it. It's kind of cool. Anyway, but yeah, so that's what I should do. You could put the family crest on like a breastplate, and that's how you talk to your neighbors.
Yeah, just with that.
A sword.
Oh, you gotta have a sword. So what's your? Do you remember what your family crests look like?
It was like most of the family crests, they're always on shields. So it was a picture of a shield, and then on there it had pictures in another room. I'd have to go find it. It has like at the top of it has like a helmet, and then it's like yellow and black, and I think it's like four corners, and one has like one corner has stripes on it, and one corner I think has a lion on it.
Yeah, because I know my grandpa's got one printed out, and it's yellow too, but it's got like flowers.
Yeah, okay.
So it's almost like House Tyrell.
Yeah. I love how we're comparing our family history. Like Game of Thrones, that was totally how the Middle Ages went.
Well, and it's so interesting. So like, I know it's always funny when you think about this, because everybody wishes that their family had like all these lands, and we're like, kings and queens had their own manor. And realistically, they're probably just farmers on somebody else's land.
Well, I mean, possibly. But I also think that a great majority of us probably had like some nobility. And the only reason I say that is because most of the poor people in the Middle Ages died fairly young before they could, pass on children. So the reason that I think a lot of us are descended from, like noblemen or whatever is because they, survived long enough to pass their name on.
You have two options. You're either part of a nobleman, or you're part of a whorehouse offspring from a nobleman visiting.
Right.
Oh.
Sanitation was poor.
Oh, so we're talking about today and age of houses were actually houses.
Yes. And so I think we need to bring it back. That's what I'm saying.
So House Bentley, that's the one next door whose trash has been strewn all across the yard, tries to get a raven over, and it gets, picked up by another bird. So he puts on his crest, he puts on his, his good clothes and walks over and knocks on the door.
Yeah. So guy answers the door. This is just, Steve. Steve opens up the door and there's a guy standing at his doorstep in full arm in like a breastplate and a cloak with a sword.
And while Steve Mormont, he's just in like basketball shorts and a t-shirt.
He's like, is there a Renaissance fair in town? He's like, no, good sir.
It's like, Greg, what's going on? He takes off a glove and smacks him. He's like, oh, we're doing this? Okay. Lord Mormont shuts the door, walks back in, comes back out. He's got his full gear on. The wives step out and it's like, oh, hi, Jenny. Hi, Susan. Our husband's doing this again? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, apparently there's disgrace upon the house Mormont or some fucking nonsense. I don't know. We're going to go to spin class.
Yeah, Jenny, he was talking about some raccoon shitting on the yard. It was trash. It was trash, Jenny. I'm sorry. I mean, I told him I'll pick it up, but he said it would, bring disgrace on our house for his beloved queen to pick up the trash in the yard.
Or some fucking nonsense. I don't know.
Yeah, I tell him that about, the brown eye, but he still goes to town on that.
Yeah, this is why I sleep with my personal trainer.
What's that? Nothing, babe. Go do your house, whatever.
Go play Game of Thrones with the neighbor.
The wives start to shut the door. Both like, wait. Can you cue the music? Oh, Jesus.
Just walks behind him with a boombox. You just get one of the kids to do it. It's okay. So Craig opens up the door. There's a guy, and there's you in full regalia, and then your kids behind you with a boombox, blaring the theme to Game of Thrones. I am here for Lord Mormont.
Lord Bentley will not be disgraced on his own block. The 17th block remembers. Neighbors walk out. It's like, do we call the police? It's like, no. Yeah, new neighbors move in. So new neighbors move in. We'll call them the Flanders. They're all excited. Like, this is a nice neighborhood,
Good schools. This is great.
They're like, I hear good things about this. They just moved in. Their kitchen looks out to the front of the 17th block. Flanders looks over, holds his wife's hand. It's like, this is, I'm so happy with where we are in life, babe. I got that new promotion. We got this new house. It's great schools. I'm just so happy. I love you. And right when he goes in to kiss, he hears, ba, 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 ba. He's like, it's not Sunday. What's going on? And he looks out to see these two guys circling each other across the street
with swords out.
So him and his wife freak out, and she's like, oh my gosh, Brian, you need to go out and do something. And so he goes running out, and the neighbors are sitting there just like having a drink, watching. He's like, oh my God, what's going on? Should we call the police? Like, no.
Somebody could get hurt.
This is just Tuesday night. The worst thing that happens is one of them skins their knee and they cry for an hour. We bring it up at every homeowners association meeting, but nothing happens because they come in threatening to behead somebody.
Yeah. There was one time we all got sick because somebody poisoned the Kool-Aid.
And really, it was just too much sugar. That's all
somebody
it was.
Stood up and was like, red wedding! Red wedding!
I think it was Brian.
Fucking Brian. I hope you fall this time, Brian.
House Mormont remembers that.
Yeah, whatever. I still need my weed eater.
Why don't you get your dragons out, you douchebag?
Don't say dragons. He'll whip his dick out.
He only does that when he's drunk.
Which is a lot.
We say this only happens on Tuesdays, but really it happens every day. A lot of times if there's nothing going on, we'll just throw trash in one of their yards and they just go ape shit.
So how did they settle the conflict eventually? Because obviously, like they're not going to stab each other.
Well, I imagine it's like, you remember Cable Guy?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They're fighting with the swords.
So he has one of the kids change the music.
Yeah.
Son, battle mode. Ba, 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 ba.
All right, wait for it. One of them's going to trip. Yep, there it is.
And there
yep.
it is.
All right.
And cue the crying. Honey, it happened again.
Wait, this is the best part. She comes out dressed as the mother of dragons because that's the only way he'll go inside. No, babe, you got to say it. You are my call Drago. You are my call. I am your mother of dragons.
Come inside. Can your boobs be out this time?
I love your boobs. I'll fight you tomorrow, Greg. Oh, wait. Here, Flanders, you're in for a really good treat. Here comes the speech. House Monfront of the 17th block has been victorious again.
Yeah, here comes the victory dance. Wait for it. And down he goes.
Yeah, I don't understand why he does the MC Hammer. Like, it's totally not in the right realm, but we just let him do whatever.
Mormont, you're not being time era appropriate.
What was that, Flanders? Do you challenge me? Do you spit in the face of House Mormont?
But I seriously think, there's something missing there. I think that maybe we need to get back to a time where we had like houses. Because I think, because there should be some pride in your name, and you should take pride in your name.
I can see having pride in your name, but I really don't think if I go over to my neighbor's house and try to take over his lands, that's going to go very well.
Well, okay, very true. But if you want to talk about something that like I would say is like on similar point, like I would say that maybe the South, like parts of the South, kind of do this, where like let's say okay, there's a guy, and the guy like fucks some dude's sister and then dumps her or whatever. Then that guy shows up. Then that girl's brother shows up at the dude's house and is like, "You've disgraced my sister," or shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
But I think that's all around though. Like, if somebody disgraced your sister, wouldn't you be like, I'm gonna beat the shit out of that dude?
Right. You've brought shame upon my name.
But there's no like real. I guess you could say in politics maybe, but there's no real like quest for conquering lands anymore.
Yeah, okay, there's names in politics. You can say the Kennedys, but they usually end up dying horribly and tragically.
But like you think about this time, like, if Lord Monfront existed and he's like, I really like that farmlands across the river, I'm going to go conquer it. I can't be like, you know what? My neighbor's got a really nice pool. I'm going to go conquer that.
Yeah.
I'm going to show up to his house and be like, I claim this land as mine. He's like, no, you don't.
That's not how it works.
What are you doing in my house? I'm calling the police.
And the police show up and then you're like, no, I conquered it fair and square.
That's how it works, right? I read a book. You can't put those handcuffs on me. No, you're on my land.
I shall not be bound.
You work for me and House Monfront. Oh, I guess I can use the insanity plea.
So I guess the question is, are we more or less sophisticated because we no longer have that? Obviously, we're more sophisticated in the sense that, like, my neighbors can't, invade my yard and take it over. But in the sense, there's kind of a romanticism that's lost, I would say.
Well, I think it goes back. There's got to be some boredom there, I guess, because I don't know. At this point, like you said, like if your neighbor conquers your yard, it's like, well, it's not legal. I still get the taxes from it. So as long as he mows my yard, that's all I care about. But if you imagine it, I literally can look out any window and see a house. If I had to worry about those 4 houses trying to conquer mine, that'd be stressful.
Especially if they united.
Yeah.
Then what do you do?
The houses of 17th block have united against House Monfront.
Yeah. Then you're fucked. Then you're going to have to go like across the street to the 18th block to try and garner up support. You show up at their HOA meeting.
Lord Monfront, he goes across. He's like, we need to raise the banners, sweetie. Call our bannerman. She's like, no. He's like, no, we must. No. Babe, you're ruining this for me. All right. And she calls the Flanders. Yeah. Is this Is this Beth? This is Susan Monfront, Lady Monfront. Oh God damn it,
Lady Monfront.
Lady Mon. I was like, okay, yeah, this is Susan. No, you must say Lady Flanders. We are calling in our banners. Will you let me talk to her? Just go.
My
play your
husband
sword.
was wondering if you would unite the banners in an effort to reclaim the land that was what, honey? It was taken from me by force of arms. Taken by force of arms.
He wants to reclaim. Are you really gonna make me say this,
Susan?
Yes.
Can't he just call the police? I've already been through this. Yes, he could, but he's choosing instead to what is it, honey? Unite the banners. That's right. That's right.
All right, go. Oh God, damn it. He's he's getting the sword out. He's getting the sword out.
Is that code? No, it's not his penis. He's literally getting a sword out.
It's a collector's edition from Game of Thrones. Iron Claw or Claw something, I don't know.
Those are houses in Harry Potter.
He wants to reclaim the I think he called it he calls it the Iron Throne. It's just a plastic lawn chair.
Yeah,
that
he sits in the backyard.
And it's sad. It's
So
we
sad.
get a lot of stuff from Amazon, and he cuts swords out of them and tapes them to him with duct tape. You should see his face when it rains because they just wilt. It's the saddest thing. He sits out there though. God bless him. He sits out there. Some women worry about their husbands cheating on them. Not me. He just sits in the rain in his iron throne.
No one's going to fuck this man. I wonder why I fuck this man.
He leaves he's like, oh, I'm gonna go to the brothel, Lady Monfront. Like, yeah, whatever. He's just going to Burger King. That's where he gets his crown. We have Burger King crowns all over. You would think when he walks in, they would hide him because he's a grown man taking like 4 or 5 crowns, but no, they just let him take them.
I would do that. I kind of like the idea, but I totally think you should. So the next time, I think this goes for everybody. The next time someone, cuts you off on the road, or next time someone just pisses you off in general, just say that you have brought shame upon me and my house, and I guarantee that they will take you seriously, or at least more seriously.
Well, that's got some credence to it. It's like, oh shit, this is Lord Montfront. What the fuck's a Morfront? I don't know, but it's a lord. Don't piss that dude off.
He's got a title. He's not British. Isn't that an English thing?
I think this would be a good skit. I can imagine these two guys fighting each other, and one of them creating an iron throne of Amazon cutout boxes
and duct tape.
Yeah, it starts raining. You just hear, bah, 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 bah.
I'm so sad right now.
Where did my life go wrong? I wanted to be a king, but I'm just a jester.
It's all, I'm saying, it's all fine and good until he actually poisons somebody.
Yeah. I just imagine he puts too much sugar in the Kool-Aid.
Be like, no, this is how we reclaim our honor. Honey, you can't just give people bleach to drink. That's not legal. Oh God, I'm going to jail, aren't I, honey? Yes, you are, dear, for a long time.
Hey, why's the personal trainer pulling up? No reason, babe. No reason. Dad, can I keep the sword?
Yay, 2 Christmases!
You hear Mr. Flanders walk out and he's like, hey, Craig, where you're going to be the Iron Throne. A lot of people will be sitting on you.
Ever see what happened to Reek?
I guess he would be sitting on a lot of Iron Thrones.
Yeah, that's true. The toilets are made out of metal.
I was meaning prison sexual relations.
Oh, right. Me too. Okay, so she 13 years and then she just died, or what happened?
So she married somebody in England, and I guess she kind of settled down at this point.
So this is husband number 3?
Yeah.
Okay.
He so let's see. They got married. Let's see. She married a dude that won a battle.
Ooh.
Sir Walter Bentley.
She's like war hero.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess you'd have to expect that because this is a war-hardened woman. You know, she's seen some
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah. She's been on a boat with like a bunch of dudes, probably like raiding ships.
Pillaging, taking brides.
Yeah, slitting throats.
Oh, I kind of want to imagine that because, like in Game of Thrones, when in the books,
Oh God.
when
Here we
Darius
go.
Targaryen, when she conquers and she has her kind of, she doesn't call them slaves, she's like they're her ladies.
Uh-huh.
After her and Khal Drogo, after he dies, she gets a little frisky with the ladies. So I kind of imagine.
Why wasn't that in there?
I know.
That needs to be in the show.
Have you ever read 4 pages in a row, like 20 times in a row, Richard? She did what? I don't think that's a dragon tongue.
I'm reading it in slow motion so I can picture it in my mind's eye. Sweetie, why are you in the bathroom? Don't disgrace my house.
I guess what's worse, getting caught doing, tugging it out to actual porn or to a Game of Thrones
To
book.
Game of Thrones book.
And what happens is you drop it and it flips to a Hodor page.
Oh. And then you constantly just have that image in your see, and then now every time you do it, then there's Hodor there, and
So she made it to 1356, so pretty much towards the end of her life. And she married Sir Walter Bentley. He was one of King Edward III's military deputies. So he was a top like general. He had won the Battle of Moron on August 4th of 1352 and was awarded lands and castles. So she married this dude and they settled down for a couple of years. So she gave up the life of piracy when she met this guy. Because I'm guessing the wars and stuff kind of ended.
yeah, okay.
And she settled down for about 3 years with this guy before she died. I'm guessing of old age, or it doesn't really say how she died specifically.
So she made it.
Yeah.
She went and she was a pirate for 13 years. She had her kids on a fucking boat. She's sailing around. She's looting and pillaging and being a fucking pirate.
She avenged her husband, her second husband.
Avenged her husband, her second husband. And then when it's all said and done, then she started to get up in years. And so she marries a war hero and just lives the rest of her life as a rich noblewoman.
Oh, I like to imagine when like her and Sir Walter Bentley, like their first night, she did kind of like the Mother of Dragons did with Khal Drogo. She like throws him down on the bed. It's like, no, I'm on top, bitch. He's like, all right, whatever.
Ooh, yeah. I bet she was. She was all like, take charge. And she's
Yeah.
like, usually I pay for this.
He's just closing his eyes going, do, 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 do,
Yeah.
do, do, do.
Well, see, because that's the thing. Like, she's the captain, so she's probably like, I bet she like banged dudes on the ship. She's like, I gotta scratch the itch, and so she calls like the first mate over, and she's like, "Service your captain."
He's like, this is better than the last ship I was on.
Last ship I was on, I was in the barrel all the time.
Yeah, when you got called into the captain's office and he said, service the captain, it wasn't very fun. Not
No,
gonna
it
lie.
wasn't. It was terrible. It was quite terrible.
I was like, whoa, captain, I'm not into this. He's like, I don't care.
Yeah, I'm closing my eyes. You should do the same.
he had a patch. He says, I'm closing my eye. But you know what? His parrot watched.
Parrot watched the whole thing.
I think you like it, man.
Every time the parrot came by, I was like, "Man, who swallows?" Shut up! That's not true. It's not, guys. That is so not true. Don't listen to that fucking bird.
It's my native name, man who swallows. It's not man who, it's Manu.
Manu. Manu swallows. That was my name on the mainland where I was.
It's a
born.
city. It's Manu is the city name. Swallows is the state. Yeah.
I think you suck dick. Don't you bring disgrace on House Swallows. Damn it.
They go to throw him off the ship. The captain's like, no, keep him.
Nope. I like this one. I
like that
this
guy.
one.
Yeah. You know why. He winks.
Manu swallows.
I think you just proved why pirates are not better than ninjas, Richard.
Shit. But lady pirates are pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But I'm
Gosh.
saying, yeah, she's on a boat. Like, she's the fucking captain. That's what I'm saying. She's the captain, so she's probably like, she needs the itch scratched. She's probably just like, you, cabin, now. Just points to a random person on the deck.
They fight to like, no, she pointed at me. No, she pointed at me. she's like Ironborn. She's like a Reek's sister.
Yeah.
Man, this is all Game of Thrones like in one lady.
That's awesome though.
It's a good story.
I'm glad she made it. I'm glad she didn't like die in battle or something. I'm sure that would probably have been more like, exciting and glorious, but like 13 years she's on a boat and pillaging and looting and all this shit, and she fucking like comes out on top. It's not like she, got captured and was executed, or, she died, during a battle or something like that. She fucking made it all the way to the end and retired.
I think there's something to be said about stuff like that because, she, like you said, she fought her battle. She basically fought most of her life.
Yeah.
And she got to at least rest for 3 years before she passed on. And probably the rest is what killed her because she's probably like, this isn't very exciting.
Yeah.
I'm hoeing the garden. I'm blowing old what's-his-face over here every now and then. I ask him if he wants to play pirate, and he doesn't because he's a land lover.
Oh, what I wouldn't give for that first mate again.
But, so, we kind of went all over the place, but Richard, do you have any closing thoughts on this pirate Game of Thrones?
I think in the end, the whole thing just comes down to, you know what this is? This is a story about what you do with your life. This chick, she, was all fine and good. Everything was lovely. And then her husband was killed, betrayed, and then killed. And so did she lay down and take it? No. Well, she probably did once or twice when she was on the boat. But before that, she was like, no. And she went and became a fucking pirate. And for 13 years was the terror of the English Channel. And then when it was all said and done, she felt like she lived an awesome life, and she just, settled down. She married a war hero and lived out her life. Had a bunch of kids. I bet her kids all grew up to be pirates. The whole pirate family. It's like the Swiss Family Robinson, but they're all pirates. And that's awesome. And now I've decided that I'm going to turn all my kids into pirates.
Dad, I'm getting seasick. Toughen up. You're a pirate now.
Don't be a scurvy land lover. Mom told us we should eat these oranges. No, not oranges.
Dad, why are you turning green? No reason. All right, well, I'll do a little bit of housekeeping. I couldn't do a voice there. I'll save it for later.
Please save it for later.
Visit our website. We're at languageofbromance.com. Follow us on Twitter. We're at languageofbro. Email us at eatthebeaver@languageofbromance.com. Like us on Facebook. Subscribe and leave a review on Google Play Music, iTunes, and Stitcher.
And don't forget to check us out on the Pod Bros Network.
The Black Fleet of podcast networks.
Yes. Or the fleet that if they kill you, then I will raise an army against them.
If John beheads me, you'll fight the Pod Bros.
I will. With my own brand of, with something. But it'll be terrible.
And if you're in the need to join the ranks of the LOB army, maybe we're the LOB pirate army now, go to our Patreon account. It's www.patreon.com/languageofbromance. And you can choose which level you would love to be. You could be a general, be a captain.
You could be a captain. You could be a captain. We're talking all about captains. You could be, and we'll even, you could even be pirate captain.
Yeah, put it on a business card. We'll let you.
Totally.
All right. Well, is there anything else before I close her out?
No. Let's sail for land. There you go.
Oh, you probably want to sail for open sea.
Oh, yeah.
Land lover, you. All right. Well, that's all the bromance we have for this show. I'm Sean.
And I'm Richard.
And I say we eat the beaver.
The beaver.
Matey. Honey, will you just put this chair away? It's raining.
Don't bring disgrace on our house.